Chappell Roan is one of those people I'm really just thoroughly surprised that they're famous. You know, this 27-year-old girl, and I had to look up her age. I assumed she was like 20. Learning that she is 27, the big age of 27, and acts the way she acts is actually one of the wildest things I've ever just wildest pieces of information I've stumbled upon. Okay, she always is dressing like a drag queen. Um, I almost just thought to myself, I was like, what are Chappell's pronouns? Because Chappell's whole aesthetic is cosplaying trans female culture. So it's like her aesthetic is copying men who pretend to be women. Like it's just wild to me, the roundabout of it all. But you know, this is a girl from rural Missouri, and as someone from the Midwest, I know way too many people that have this same insufferable childish energy as Chappell Roan, who are just so self-righteous. And I've tried to defend this girl in the past. I have, because I think she's talented. I think she's naive, but I think she has potential to be a big star. But every time she gets on a mic, I feel like she gets more and more exhausting. Here is her latest narrative that she's pushing.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
Y'all don't judge me because y'all know I'm always messing with this earpiece. I cannot stand an earpiece show. But Chappell Roan, you know, when I saw this clip, I assumed, again, that Chappell Roan was like 19, 20. I could understand if you were 19 or 20 and said that all of your friends that have kids are miserable, but you were at the big age of 27. Okay, mind you, I am 28. I'm a year older than Chappell Roan. And this was just such a wild clip to see but at the same time, I shouldn't be surprised because I am not surprised that Chappell Roan is in an association of people that are miserable about being parents. I really do believe her. I believe that all of her friends that have kids are miserable. And why I believe that is because her friends that have kids are probably baby mamas and baby daddies. If we're going to be so for real. Something tells me that Chappell Roan does not have a circle of friends that are married and happy and have stable household. Okay, so she's going and telling her young fans this dangerous information that you just shouldn't go and have a family, which is just crazy to think about because she now wants her audience to be like her, which is just this constant lifestyle of chasing happiness. Life is not about chasing constant fixes of happiness. Okay, you are never going to find meaningful fulfillment unless you are doing what makes the most sense, which is getting married and having children. And I will say there are some people who they're not cut out to be parents. Some people aren't even cut out to be spouses. But that being said, I don't think those people are ever going to find meaningful fulfillment. You might be happy. You might be happy with all the extra money, but as your life progresses, I really do feel like you are going to feel more and more unfulfilled unless you are pursuing marriage and children. Okay. And again, I'm not saying that everybody needs to feel obligated to get married and have kids, but at the same time, this narrative that you're going to be happier without it, I feel like that is more rare that is more the exception than it is the rule, if you get what I'm saying. You know, because unless you have a purpose that is larger than yourself, I think you are going to run out of joy. Statistically speaking, you are going to run out of joy. You can look at so many studies that show if you are married and have children, especially women, biologically, baby fever is going to be upon you at some point if it's not already. You might be in denial of it, but your body is telling you that it's time to reproduce more often than not. Okay. So unless you have something, again, that is a purpose larger than yourself, you're not going to sustain happiness. This is why cat ladies exist. If we're going to talk about it and be so for real, the reason that you have these middle-aged cat ladies is because they want essentially a job of taking care of something that is not themselves. They want to be able to spend their life giving themselves a purpose. And these cat ladies, their purpose is taking care of these cats. A lot of these cat ladies, they refer to their cats as their kids. Them ain't your kids, girl. You did not give birth to a cat. Okay? But again, that is them trying to fill a void. And I feel like a lot of the problems that we have in our society today ultimately stem from people trying to fill voids with things that are not sustainable. You know, we talk a lot about in the conservative movement how woke is a religion, but I don't think people understand how literal that is. People are trying to replace God with woke social justice causes. They're trying to replace children with cats. They're trying to replace a spouse with money and vacations. You can travel the world all you want, but are you not going to get lonely doing that by yourself? So I just think it's really dangerous that people like Chappell are using their platforms to tell people to go in a direction that is more often than not going to make them wildly unhappy and miserable as their life goes on. But it doesn't surprise me because she's 27 and she's already miserable. You know, she is becoming the most insufferable pop star, and I should have saw the signs a long time ago. So I just want to give you guys even just a little history on how she has become progressively insufferable. Because the first big thing she started going viral for was her arguments with her fans. Okay, let's play this first clip.
If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? You go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the f-?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? This is a lady you don't know, and she doesn't know you at all. I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the f you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a f if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug.
Okay, that's enough with that. So I will say when this was the first video, one of the first videos I ever saw of her. At first, I respected it because a lot of people do not respect boundaries, and I did respect seeing a celebrity establish boundaries because I feel like it's been a long time since we've had the era of divas. Like today's youth could never handle an Aretha Franklin or a Gladys Knight or a Patti LaBelle, let alone a Mariah Carey or a Whitney Houston. They can't even handle Chappell Roan. Okay, so I respected that she stood on her boundaries, but at the same time, I thought it was a little weird. It's like, why would you pursue a career path of fame if you're that averse to people coming up to you and approaching you for pictures and, you know, being fans of you? Like, that is something that you obviously knew was going to come with fame. You literally could not have a sustainable career as a pop star without your fans. So that was the first red flag, but I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. Because, again, I respected that she was putting down the boundaries. Then she had her first paparazzi crash out, at least that I saw, and that the public really saw go viral. So this is her at the VMA Awards.
Shut the f*** up, this is the spot.
So if you didn't hear, the paparazzi yelled at her, telling her to shut the F up. And Chappell clocked it. She says, what you're not going to do is tell me that. And again, I respected this one. I respected it. It's been a long time since I've seen a celebrity clap back at, especially a young female new artist celebrity clap back at a paparazzi like that. Because some of those paparazzi people are very disrespectful. Like I've been to a handful of red carpets and they are wildly aggressive to these celebrities. And he was like, she missed her spot. She missed her spot. It's like, she is not entitled to have to stand on that spot for you. Okay. So I was okay with it. But then a month later, she went and confronted another paparazzi that she apparently had some old beef with from a year prior. You were so rude to me. Demanding an apology is crazy. Demanding an apology for something a year old. The fact that she even remembered what this paparazzi looked like is crazy. Now, again, I don't know what that paparazzi did to wrong her, but why do I feel like she sneezed and the paparazzi didn't say bless you? I feel like it was just something so unserious because she is just such an unserious individual. So then it's like, okay, this was some months back. She's getting more and more insufferable. And then Now she's at the Grammys this year talking about trans visibility. And again, just her whole inspiration of why she looks like a drag queen and a clown simultaneously.
It's brutal right now, but trans people have always existed and they will forever exist, and they will never, no matter what happens, take trans joy away. And that has to be protected more than anything,
Yes,
because
Elliot Joy is so-
I would
or
not be
Elliot
here
Joy is so
without
joyful.
trans girls.
Yes, you
So-
would. Your parents had you, girl.
Just know that pop music is thinking about you and cares about you. And I'm trying my best to like really stand up for you in every way I can.
I try so hard to be empathetic, but it's so difficult for me. Y'all know I try so hard to be nice. I do. I really do try. But it's getting so difficult. It's getting so difficult. These people are becoming more and more insufferable. And my blood pressure is too high to deal with this constant narrative of the trans people. We're thinking about you. Well, we make our pop records of talking about doing drugs and shaking our behinds. We're thinking of you and how you want to chop off your genitals. Yeah, power. Girl, Chappell Roan, I really hope this is only 30 minutes of fame for you. And I hate to say it. I don't like to wish people negative often. But girl, you're so goofy. Unless you grow the hell up, which at your big age of 27, you might be stuck in your ways by now. It's like you are just so exhausting. And I don't know how much longer I can deal with Chappell Roan going viral. So hopefully we don't have to talk about her for a while.